whether you're in the UK or the USA or even Australia. It's welcome, and it's 5 p.m. in the UK, 12 p.m. on the East Coast, and it's time for Get Connected. So welcome to the show, and I'm waiting to see that I am actually live, because that would be good. And if you're watching the replay, we're going to be talking about improving your audience. I'm going to take that off. That's a misspelling. Nobody will see that bit. Welcome to the shoe. Let's get that right, shall we? While we wait for people to arrive. Welcome to the show, should say. That's better. Or take your time when you're setting up a show. And hello to everybody who's watching. Now, there is something that you can do to help BLIFbot.tv. And that is, there is a BLIFbot.tv survey going on at the moment. And they want our thoughts on the direction of BLIFbot.tv. They don't want to know who we are. It's all anonymous. So you can put your thoughts in and you can tell them what you do with the show, how many shows you've done. And good evening, April. Nice to see you. And I'm promoting the survey. I'm trying to get people involved because it's important. This is your chance to actually say how you're using BLIFbot.tv, which features you like, and what you would like to see. So it will form the basis of a wish list. So it's very important. And the link to the survey, I'm going to post now. And if you could take 5 minutes of your time, then BLIFe would be very grateful. And that's all it takes. I did the survey myself this morning, and it's simple and straightforward. So BLIFe in 5 survey, and the link is there, and it takes 5 minutes, and it's your chance to have a say about what's going to happen with BLIFbot.tv as we look forward to the rest of 2018. And interesting times. A lot's happened on BLIFe in the last 12 months, so I should think what's going to happen to it in the next 12 months because the rate of progress is just so amazing. We're awaiting some updates, but you have your chance to actually have your say in the BLIFe TV survey. Now, I want to just reiterate a message that RJ passed on yesterday, and I'm just going to reiterate now about messenger bots. Messenger bots, there's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt around at the moment. The fact is that if you have got a messenger bot, and greetings, RJ, if you've got a messenger bot, and that messenger bot was in existence, and the page was linked before Facebook made their announcement, then it still works. There were a couple of hours, but this was back on Tuesday, Wednesday. Now your bot will work. What you can't do is add a new bot to a new page for the next 2 weeks while Facebook conduct their review, which is in everybody's favor because it could cut out a lot of problems that have been had with bots. So messenger bots, keep calm and just carry on. And if you can't create one for a new page at the moment, then at least you can design it. So that's the news on messenger bots, which is keep calm. Now the next topic I've got is building an audience. Now this is no approach is guaranteed, but I can tell you what I do before as soon as I've created the show, I go along to TwitTimer. You could equally well go along to Hootsuite with the show card, and I send out a tweet and post on Facebook a half an hour before the show is due to go live. And the thing is, you can then send out a broadcast on your messenger bot to your friends on Messenger who you've been talking to in the last 7 days, and those are 2 steps to build an audience. One is to send out a message 30 minutes before the show, and the second is to use messenger bots. Now, this is not my show, this is our show. So welcome to the show, now spelt right. And if you want to join me on camera, then please just type guest in the comments and you'll get a link on Facebook Messenger, which will bring you on screen. I'm looking forward to being joined by Cheryl in about 20 minutes time, and more the merrier, really. Most shows I actually do, Monday is David, Tuesday is Tina, Wednesday is RJ with RJ, great show in BLIFers, catched every week, Wednesday 12 p.m. and then Thursday is my show, where anything can happen, and Friday is tomorrow, which is with Brigetti. Also tomorrow, for those who didn't see it, I will be testing the VidPresso live sales system again at 3 p.m. Sorry, let's get this right. 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. I'll be testing the VidPresso sales bot. And just to remind you what that does, it's not connected with BLIFbot.tv. It is a separate system from VidPresso. And basically, it takes orders and fulfills those orders whilst you're selling. So tomorrow, I will be doing a test run, and you don't have to make any purchases, but it helps if you can sort of go with the flow. I'll be showing 3 products, and you'll have the opportunity to buy them at a discount. And the buy is in quotes because you don't have to, really. This is just a test. So that's the VidPresso sales system, which we'll be talking with tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. in the UK. Okay, so those are the shows and tomorrow, and talked about promoting your show, and the next thing is on my list anyway today is improving your shows. Now this is really down to content. Hello Corinda, nice to see you. Improving your show, it really is down to content. You need to plan your show, and you need to take a topic, and on that topic you then put together talking points which you can talk around. You've got to make sure that you can talk for 10-15 minutes whilst everybody finds out where you are, because if you put a link in the comments, Corinda, I'll bring it on screen, and you can more than welcome to share it. Corinda has a new show which is later today, I think, about 7 p.m. in the UK, and he's going to be interviewing business people, so that should be interesting. I'm looking forward to catching the replay. Where was I? Improving our shows is all about content. It's about getting the content right for your audience, and that means a topic that you can talk about, because the thing about live videos, what differentiates people is really the depth of knowledge, because during the show you're going to be asked questions and you've got to be able to answer those questions. So pick a topic which you're knowledgeable about, or your guest is knowledgeable about, and you can then show that knowledge during the course of the show. I've seen shows where it's basically just fallen apart because there wasn't a real topic, and people just walk away. Today we're talking about how to improve your shows, and hopefully this show is a reasonable example of how a show should be run. Time will tell. Corinda, you can come up for a moment, but I want to carry on with my thread. You've been on every day this week, just saying. Right, well, welcome, Corinda. Right, Corinda, the floor is yours to talk about your show.
So, today is like a recently, like, to talk about what recently brought out auto services, and obviously on BLIFbot.tv, and if you want to talk about what recently brought out auto services, then you're welcome to join. It's my first episode today.
Right, and we'll say hello to Lillian. Thank you for joining us, Lillian. And all right, okay, so are you doing that on your iPhone or your desktop with your microphone?
that was white.
Right, okay. Well, I wish you every success with the show, and I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Okay, cheers. Right, and Lillian, thank you. If you want to come on camera, Lillian, if you type guest in the comments, then you're more than welcome to join me on camera. Now, an interesting fact today. This is my 357th show on BLIV, and incredibly, I have had on my shows 9,992 comments. So the question is, will you make the 10,000th comment on my live shows? Because that's what it's all about. It's all about exchanging knowledge and ideas and asking questions, answering those questions. And during the course of my shows, each show's averaged about 28 comments, and that's absolutely brilliant. And comment from Corinda, could that be the 10,000th comment? I'll check back later. And good luck with the show, Corinda. See you later. And so 10,000 comment. Interacting on the show is key, because what you want to do is you want to make friends. It's not about, the show is not about you. Right, okay. And the comment from Lillian, I'm in Malaga right now, and not in the right place to come live. Okay, I understand that. And Corinda is saying hello to Lillian. And this is the magic of live video around the globe, that Lillian is in Malaga, Corinda is in London, and I'm in wonderful Wiltshire. So we're able to connect. Right, and Lillian saying she hopes hers was the 10,000th comment. Well, I'm going to do a count back. I've got a sneaky feeling, Lillian, it might have been. Because when so it might have been the 10,000th comment. And hello, Corinda from Lillian. So that's the 10,000th comment done, and all good. Right, now sharing your show. This is key, and this is what a lot of people don't do. When you have a guest on the show, what you need to do when you're creating the live video post is to tag them in, because that means it then appears on their profile as well. And if it doesn't appear on their profile, then share it to them. Make the point that they're 50% of the show and therefore should be doing 50% of the marketing. And always ask during the show, Corinda will be proud of me now when I type in the immortal, please share. Now, sharing is important because sharing actually increases the reach of a show. And sharing with a comment is even better. If you share the show and you put a single comment saying you're enjoying the show or please come and watch this show, then the value of that comment is immense. Because when a show is shared, and I wouldn't say that properly, when a show is shared, if nobody comments on the shared post, then Facebook ignores it. To all intents and purposes, they say, right, okay, somebody's just sharing, it's not going anywhere, isn't that? We'll ignore it altogether, and we won't share it into that person's feed, and his friends will not see it. So when you share a show, you need to one other thing as well, and that's to comment on the share. And that increases its value. That means that Facebook will recognize it as being a legitimate share, and your comment may encourage other people not only to watch the show, but to comment as well. And the more comments there are on a show, the more people see the show. So go back to the comment of sharing the show, and all right, okay, comment from Lillian, brilliant. I kind of do live stream with people of the same field. However, I'm thinking of having more people on my show of different fields. What's your opinion on that? Right, okay. Now, this comes back to what I was just saying. Being on your own is good. Having a guest is good. Keeping to your topic is also good because you become known for that topic and you become known for having good guests centered around that topic. If you want to broaden out, though, and widen your audience beyond your particular area, then having a guest who's in a totally different field who you got to know through Facebook networking, bringing them on will let you branch out into a wider audience. I mean, I have people I've known for years on here, 12 years to be precise, and people I've only met since Blab, and people I've just met on BLIve. And it's the mix that makes for the show. I mean, if you vary the type of show that you're doing, then it creates a wider audience. Each show has its own separate audience. If I'd done this show at 3 o'clock this afternoon, at 10 a.m. today, then it would have had a different audience than it does at 12. So varying the show helps. Having different guests helps. So I would say, if you're thinking about it, try it. That's the best way to increase your reach and increase the knowledge that people have about you. Because if you interview somebody who you wouldn't normally interview, then they get to know you, you get to know them, and hopefully, if they share the show, you get to reach out to their audience too. So I'm all for spreading your wings, taking a chance and interviewing people who are in different areas to you. And thank you, Lillian. Lillian's saying true. I think so too. So good luck with that. And if you're looking for guests, just saying. Yeah, again, that's the other point. If you want to widen your audience, which is basically what we're talking about, building an audience, then you can do no better thing than be on somebody else's show. Every Monday, I co-host or guest really on a show run by David Burrows, which is broadcast out of Ontario in Canada. And I'm making lots of new Canadian friends directly through that show. And Lillian's saying, I know you are always there to support. Thank you very much. And thank you, Lillian. Enjoy watching the replay of your shows. I don't always catch them live, but I do enjoy your shows, and I look forward to seeing you. Enjoy enjoy Malaga. Wow. But it's warmer than the UK. That's one thing. We're expecting snow this weekend, I think. We'll have to wait and see, though. So sharing your show is important. Your guests should share. Your friends will share, hopefully. And you want to share to your business pages and to groups. Every business page should now have an attached group where people who are interested in your topics can meet and chat when you're not live. Facebook groups are a great way of talking about the topic when you're not live and getting to know people. So share your broadcast into groups, share it on your business page and encourage friends to share as well. But always when you share with a comment. A single comment makes all the difference. So that's sharing the show before you go live. Oh, yes, Easter in Malaga. That's why I left Switzerland for a break. I need a little sunshine. Well, I can't think of a more wonderful place to be than stranded in Malaga with the sun blowing down. And oh, well, yes, enjoy your break. So that's promoting your show before the show. And as I say, I send tweets out and the cards out 30 minutes before the show. In addition to that, I send a broadcast to everybody who's on my messenger bot. And that is what brings in the audience. Now, if you catch people at the right time, then your audience will grow quite quickly. If you don't, then people will watch the replay. It's a win-win situation, really. And then you do the show. And you do your calls to action, and the call to action that Corinda says always is please share. And then it comes to after the show. Now, it's a fact that 70% of the views of any video will come after you have finished your show. When we go live at times that suit us, not necessarily at the times when people are actually about, though we can do a bit of research on that. To actually go live at the time that our viewers will be live. It is possible to research that topic and find out. But when you go live, you're not going to catch everybody. So you've got to play for the replay. And basically, in terms of playing for the replay, first of all, always show what you're talking about during the show. So we're talking about sharing your show. Show the agenda so that when people come in partway through the show, they know what you're talking about. Show the card so that people know what they're watching. Always have a show card with the date, with the times on. It's always handy to have one of those. And after the show, you should do the following. Go back to the show post. Now, when you did the show post, it said, I will be live at 12 a.m. Eastern on Thursday. When you go back to the post, it should say, I was live. Okay, then there could be no mistakes. I've had problems this week with a particular show, which I'll talk about in a moment, where people were still commenting because they thought it was still live. So always change the post to say, I was live. Thank you for watching. And then if you've had guests on the show, and we don't know who's going to be a guest all the time in advance, tag them in the post as well. What that means is that when you've finished the post and you actually finish editing it, they will then get a copy which they can share on their wall. That increases the audience again. So after the show, name everybody who's actually appeared on the show. And then the other thing you can do, if you've not done it prior to the show, is to share it into different places. Now, I can give you, for instance, on this. On Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern, RJ and I go live in the BLIFers group. And it is live. It's the live show is exclusive to BLIFers. You've got to be in the BLIFers group, which is the official BLIV.tv group, and you have to be there at 12 p.m. East on Wednesdays to watch live. But after the show, I repurpose that video and tag RJ in it as well, and tag myself in it, and it goes live on, well, it goes recorded on the BLIV in 5 page and on our own personal profiles, and the video, quite simply, has a second life. So you can take a video from inside a group of which you're admin, and you can share it to your pages and to other groups. You can share it to other groups, and you can also share it to your personal profile. So there's no problem now with broadcasting into groups. You can go live in a group and then share it afterwards. It means that the group members benefit by being able to ask questions live. And on yesterday's show, I couldn't keep up with all the questions that were being asked of RJ. And basically, we've got to one stage, we're about 10 minutes behind. By the end of the show, we caught up. But it was a fascinating show. And we've now shared that on our 2 personal profiles and on the BLIV in 5 page and given it a second life. And it's the views afterwards as well. Also, after the show, you can go into Facebook Messenger and you can message anyone who took part in the conversations. Now, this is important. When we're doing live, we've got 2 choices, and I'm going to talk about them now. When you're doing a live show, you have a choice. You can either talk to your audience and not listen, or you can talk with your audience. Now, the benefits of talking to your audience are that you can ignore the comments, you can just get on with the script, you can make your point, and then you can disappear off air. Yeah? And you've done a broadcast, you've got X viewers, but you've not made any connection whatsoever because you've not spoken to people. Talking with your audience means that when a comment comes in, and thank you, RJ, that was good timing. That's the show yesterday was incredible, and can't wait for it to be repurposed. I'll send you the link shortly, I promise, tonight, definitely. All right, okay. If you went to message viewer commenters after the show, if you go into your page's inbox, you will see that there's the Facebook tab, And with that Facebook tab, you can see the show that was just done. And the show has got all the comments against it. And against each comment, it's got the like button, which we've always known about. It's got the reply button, which we've always known about. But now it's got a new message button. And if you click the message button, you can start a conversation with the person who commented on your show and bring them in to your group inner circle of friends simply by sending a message. It's the start of a conversation. It's absolutely an amazing way to get in contact with your audience. And the thing to do is just go to your inbox and check. If you don't find it there, then go to your settings and you should find the ability to switch it on from there. I'll double check that, but you can message everybody who comments on the show after the show. Now, what I generally do, as a matter of course, after this show, I will send a message and a thank you to everybody who's commented, because it's the comments that make the show. The second thing I will do is if somebody new has appeared on the show, then I will make a special message to them, welcoming them to the BLIFbot family and looking forward to talking with them and start a conversation. And this is what we're talking about, talking with your audience rather than talking to your audience. If you talk with your audience, over time, you'll grow a group of friends, Facebook friends, virtual friends, with whom you can talk anytime and who will join your shows. You've got to join their shows, of course. I mean, it's quid pro quo. You can't just say, come and see my show. You actually have to watch other shows too. But through the messenger, you can actually keep in touch with people and talk to them after the show, because that's very important. We broadcast for an hour, 2 hours a week. That leaves a lot of hours when we're not talking to people. You can take the opportunity to actually talk to people, get to know them, and build a relationship, which you can then carry forward. I'm a great advocate of talking with your audience, and I froze for a moment there, but I'm back. Of talking with your audience. Listen, this is another point. When you're talking with your audience, you should listen as well. And listening, basically, if you've got 2 or 3 people actually on camera, then listening is a skill, because you can listen to your guests. You also listen to your audience and watch the comments. And if anybody wants to join me on camera, please do. Just type guest in the comments and you'll receive a message on Facebook Messenger, which becomes more useful every day. And you can come and have a chat about anything that takes, well, anything you're interested in, really. As I say, Cheryl, it should be joining me in 2 minutes' time. So if you want to meet Cheryl, find out all about her shows, then just type guest and you can come in and join. Right, now, case in point, I just want to mention again, tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, I'm doing a show with VidPresso, and it's the VidPresso sales system. So type this in with me. I'll be showing you the VidPresso sales system, which allows you to sell during a live show. And depending on how you've got it set up, not only sell, but get paid. And this is the complete system. In other words, I can promote a product. I can ask you to type in a product code. You get a message on Messenger with a link. You click the link, you're taken through to a landing page, what I wrote, and then you have the option then to actually go and buy the product I've been talking about and pay for it. So you're not tied in until you actually get your credit card out. Don't have to buy anything, but it's a sales system, which means you don't have to leave Facebook, because you're working on your Facebook page and you're working in Facebook Messenger. And the VidPresso sales system is something that we're really testing out, and I will be live with it at 10 o'clock tomorrow. And I look forward to seeing you there if you can join me. It's absolutely magic. It works. And that's the problem that I had earlier this week when I didn't go back to the post that VidPresso created on Facebook and say, this is a recording, because people were trying to order products when I wasn't there. Now, that means that's frustrating for anybody who types in the product code and nothing happens. They're going to think, well, this doesn't work. So I did go back and edit the post and change it to make sure that there's no confusion about it. Okay, so right, we're coming up to half hour, and hopefully that explains how to message people after the show. And I'll check to see how that actually functions and how you switch it on. I'll send you the details of doing that, Lillian, from when you get back from Malaga. Okay. Okay, and we'll say hello to Stephen Stay. Welcome, Stephen, and welcome, Evie. Nice to see you. If you both want to make a comment, I will feature your comment on the screen, and you'll be in the recording then. And this recording gets repurposed to YouTube, and basically everybody who comments on the show gets featured on the show, and you may well make the comment of the day. And we have good fun with the comment of the day on Blabbing for Britain, because I have a friend called Billy Blabbit. And Billy, hello, Evie, thank you. Absolutely wonderful. And yes, please, next week, Lillian, have a great time. I'll see you later. And Evie, thank you for joining us today. If you want to come on camera, though you don't have to, then if you type guest in the comments, you can join me on camera. I thought I'd broken it again then. Just type guest and you can join me. But it's good to see you here. And Stephen, if you'd like to say hello too. But just for Stephen, I will be doing the Vid Presso tomorrow, 3 p.m. in the UK. And it's going to be a very interesting show. I spent a couple of hours today getting all ready. And if all the bits fit together, then it's going to be spectacular. And we'll have found a way of actually selling live online. Not spamming people, just selling. And we'll say hello to and welcome to the show. Two, one. Hello, Cheryl. Nice to see you.
Stephen, nice to see you as well.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to Thursday show. Now, we've met online several times and on video as well, but for our audience today, could you say a little bit about your show and what you do?
Well, my show is called Live with CherylPiper.com. I have a show on Monday and Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Mondays, I pick a subject and talk about it in the space of really helping people to move into better conversations, moving into dealing with challenges that they have in life. On Wednesdays, I interview people.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah.
And then on Sunday, I have a show at 8 o'clock Eastern Time in the evening. And it's a meditation I've created for people who are stressed. I've had so many people talking to me about being stressed about Monday morning going back to work, and it's only Sunday afternoon and they're all stressed. And so I thought, well, I can help with this. I can put together a meditation each week, go out there live, do a short, 10 to 15 minute meditation to help people ease into their Sunday evening, get a good night's sleep so they're ready to go Monday morning.
Yeah. What sort of things psych people out at the weekend for Mondays? What anxieties do they have?
It's just the anxiety of, am I ready for Monday morning? Do I have everything prepared that I need? Do I have things ready for my different meetings during the week? And just that monkey mind going. And I mean, that's the best way that I can say. It's just spinning and causing stress within yourself. And then of course you're not sleeping well because you've got yourself all stressed out. Whereas I create meditations each week that are designed to, like one of them was called You Have Enough Time. Okay. And it's all based on having the time to get things done that need to be accomplished.
Yeah, it is basically. I mean, you do worry about things, don't you? And that's sometimes you can't sleep because of that, and then the next day you're suffering from lack of sleep, and it sort of starts a process going, which is you don't recover from until you get a good night's sleep.
Well, exactly. And in fact, that's how I end my meditation. I do a whole talk about worry, and I say, if you can do something about a situation, then worry is pointless. And if you can't do anything about a situation, then worry is pointless. Either way, worry is wasted energy.
I agree with you. And Lillian's saying, but that is true. Did you know the highest rate of heart attacks happen on a Monday?
That is absolutely true, Lillian. Thank you for bringing that up. And it's exactly what we're talking about here.
And I'm going to read part of this from Stephen. I don't want to put it on the screen. He's just saying thank you for the content that we're delivering. And Lillian is saying, I'm looking for, which is, I've lost the comment. I'm looking for anyone who would like to share their journey on wealth creation through real estate. So if you are watching this live or watching the replay, and you know somebody who's a realtor, then please get in contact with Lillian, and we can all help each other. Right, and back on point. Lillian's saying, but we're only human. Worrying is part of our journey.
Well, I mean, one could choose to look at it that way. Mm-hmm. I tend to look at things as if I have a situation that comes up and I'm starting to worry about it, I really do go back to that statement that I made. Okay, if I can do something about this, then I need to do it. If there's nothing I can do about it at this moment, I breathe, I release. And I'm choosing. Once I'm really big in most of my blog articles that I write, and when I do my talks, I'm very big in talking about choices, and we get to choose how we're going to move forward in our day, rather than letting things happen to us. We choose.
Very, very true. I'm a Udemy instructor, but I also take courses on Udemy. And I've just started an NLP course.
Oh, very good.
Thank you. Well, I thought I'd get a brownie point for that, because NLP, I mean, I learned reframing a long time ago, but now going through an accreditation course for NLP, and you can change the way you think, can't you?
Yes, you can. That's all neuroplasticity. I have a course that I put together called Conversational Cocktails, and it really deals with the neuroscience as far as what's going on in the brain when we have a conversation. And so this is what we're talking about here.
All right, and Lillian is talking with us too. She's sunning herself in Malaga, in Spain, but she's still tuned in. We mature out of it. It takes time and lots of knowledge, so we're all on a different journey, and we can make these shifts. Time is an important factor. Yeah. And I've broken the agenda.
That's very good, Lillian. Thank you so much.
Now, what difference has? Say hello to Peter Stewart. Peter, if you'd like to join us, then please do. What difference has live video made to the way that you actually approach people and make contact with people?
Well, since I've made that commitment at the beginning of 2018 that I'm going to do 2 shows a week live on Facebook, and my community has exploded. I mean, I've just met so many wonderful people, especially with BLIFe. I have met so many wonderful people in this BLIFe community. It's amazing. Yeah. I'm so grateful to be part of that. And I just think it's, with going live, it really just you putting yourself out there, and you're showing people who you are and letting them see who you are and what you're about. And the people who resonate with your message are going to be attracted to you.
That's very true. I mean, the community is totally supportive.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to try and do anything, then there are people who can answer your questions and there to help you and help you achieve what you want to achieve. Yeah?
Absolutely. Well, you're a big one, Stephen. I mean, when I first started Be Live, and if I had a question and I asked it, you were just right there, and that I just appreciate that so much.
Thank you. You're welcome. I enjoy doing it. I've got a friend in Stuttgart called Andreas in Germany, and he said he categorizes people, and he said I was a helper. I think he got that categorization right. I don't argue with that, but thank you for your kind words. And we've just learned that RJ's just learned that Peter's here.
Good.
And, so Peter and RJ are having a conversation. I think, yeah, one of the things also in terms of Be Live is how powerful this system is, in that we can talk on screen live together with up to 4 people. We can share our screen, we can share photographs. And we've got all the tools here that we need to create an experience rather than just a head-to-head, haven't we?
Yes. And in fact, I went on Facebook Live the other night to my group, just really, really quickly to say something. And I didn't use Be Live, and I felt a little lost. I felt like I didn't have all the things that I'm used to having. And so that was a good experience for me.
Well, that's it. When you Facebook Live is instant. You just press the button, you go live. You don't have to set up a show. You don't have to do anything. You can do it. But then, as you say, you get on screen and you think, I'll just share that comment on screen. I can't. I just share that picture. I can't. I just share my screen. Oh, I've got to start broadcasting again.
Yes. So that was a good lesson.
yeah. For a quick, and if you were promoting your show and you're doing it, I know some people who promote the show by going live on Facebook Live 5 minutes before, and that works because that can say to people, join me on this link in 5 minutes time. But in terms of doing a show on Facebook Live, I wouldn't know what to do because no agenda, no comment. No, I think we've been spoilt really.
Well, it's wonderful, and I do love Be Live, and like I said, I've just met so many wonderful people, and that's what I tell people when I talk to them about Be Live. I said, yes, it's a great platform for you to use if you want to do live video, but the big bonus is there's so many people out there to connect with and help you in this Be Live community. It's amazing.
It is, and I think, I mean, Jeff Adams is there as the Chief Happiness Officer, and he generates a buzz. And just to give a shout out, Jeff is live at 3 p.m. Eastern today with Fallon Zoe. Now, if you're in the Be Livers group on, I think it was Monday night, they were speaking generally about how Fallon built up to having 100 live viewers concurrently, which is quite an amazing figure. And she was talking about how she did it. This today is Jeff is actually talking to her about her journey, which Lillian mentioned a moment ago. We're all on a different journey, and Jeff wants to talk about the journey behind where she is today. Because if you wind back 2 years ago, we didn't have this. So to come from nowhere is quite an achievement. But it's obviously a journey we're all on.
And that's going to be a good show, Stephen. That I'm going to try to tune into that. I have a meeting at 3 o'clock, but I'm going to try to pop in and out when I can, because I saw Jeff talking with Fallon the other day, and it was very good. And so I do want to catch as much of that as I can, because she's amazing and she's just so full of life and energy, and it's contagious when she talks because it's just so full of energy. She's so full of energy.
Totally full of energy. I mean, it's like Jeff or, I mean, Molly Mahoney is the same.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
The ball of energy just bursting out the screen and not shouting, just so much energy behind the projection that you actually want to, they're in your living room. They have a physical presence as well as a screen presence. And Jeff and Fallon are on at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is 8 p.m. in the UK, and I would think 9 p.m. in Malaga. So that's a show to look forward to. Now, 2 points I want to, and we're joined by Peter. So I'll introduce my friend Peter in a moment when he's sitting comfortably. Oh, Peter's got this thing about actually getting brands to sponsor him. So he will come on screen with a coffee cup in hand with the brand name showing. And Peter, or Cheryl, please meet Peter. Peter's my friend from Aberdeen. And Peter, please meet Cheryl.
Hi, Peter.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
Oh, just great today. Now listen, I've got to tell you something. This could have been Costa. It could have been Costa, but you never sent me vouchers. So today, this is Kenko inside a cup. Kenko, you better get some vouchers to me pretty damn quick. There you go.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's nice try, Peter. One day you might get sponsorship. That's something.
You know what happened to me today?
Fire away, so this floor's yours for a moment.
After the show, I went to meet my friend I was wanting to get him to show this for training, and his side didn't work, you know. So it's so vital to get the people on the other side to get their computer up to date, make sure they've got Chrome, all the basics. So I'm going to do it another way. So just to let you know, I'm in the pest control industry, and I've got a bee in my bonnet, if you pardon the pun. Training on the internet should really be used. Now, for me, it takes 3 days to go for a half-hour's course, if you know what I mean, or a morning's course, and it takes a lot of time out of my day. So I want training live on the internet, showing us how to use a product, and then have some sort of registration for it saying, yeah, you paid your fee, so you'll get a certificate. You can make cheat and come in, but you ain't getting the certificate. Back to you.
Yeah, I mean, the use of computers for training is a growth area. There's no doubt about that. And there's organisations which still insist on physical meetings where everybody's got to come from all over the country.
Yeah.
At great cost, because when you do travel, you've got the hotel expenses, you've got the meal expenses, a whole range of expenses, where if you're able to do it from home or your office, then you've no expense whatsoever other than your time.
Other than your time, exactly. And I think that limits people. It limits who is going to take your course if you're forcing people to come.
Yeah, the problem is my associates, but they won't come to our courses. No. It's an add-on. It's an add-on. You don't give it all online. You create something that we get something here in the UK. We get continuous professional development, where we get points. And it's just something else that we can use to facilitate getting that points. Oh. Yeah.
Right, now this brings a question you raised at the beginning, Peter, which we all have this problem, don't we, Cheryl? When we have a guest on, knowing that the guest setup is going to be good enough to actually be a guest. How do you handle your guests?
As far as what you said with the guest setup, do you mean as far as what I'm seeing from them, or I'm not sure I understand?
Sorry, right, okay. When you're running a show and you have a guest on the show, what steps do you take to prepare them?
Well, you know, I have a letter that I send out that kind of has information as far as, you know, to be on Chrome and, you know, make sure things are shut down and testing, doing the speed test and making sure that what is behind them is what you want the world to see when, you know, you're on the show, because that's part of it. So making sure that that's presenting the image that you want to present for yourself. And I usually ask people to come on about 10 minutes beforehand, just so we make sure everything's working. And yeah, that's kind of it. I keep it real light.
I think that's key, keeping it conversational, so that when you do actually start the show, I mean, we like to start the show with a laugh. So we joke with each other just before we're going live, and the laughter sort of continues to when we actually go live. That works pretty well when I do the show with Tina Shane on Tuesdays, because we have a discussion, not a chat beforehand, and we usually get to the punchline by the time we go live. Now, there is whilst I've got you both here, and Peter can talk to this as well, but I was talking earlier about the difference between talking to your audience and talking with your audience. And this is something that some people just don't do. They come out and they just broadcast. Do you have thoughts on that?
Cheryl?
Interacting with your audience.
Well, I mean, I tend to get a little passionate, when I'm talking about, the things that I enjoy and love to share with people. And so I'm talking to them, like I am looking in the camera and I am speaking directly to them. And I've had people say to me, Cheryl, I feel like you're talking right to me.
Right. Yeah.
And that's very important when you're broadcasting in this way, because I could just be here just chatting and talking and going on and on. But if I'm not connecting, we talked about this last night. Joy Ruffin had me on her show last night, and we were chatting about live conversation and technology and how things have moved in this direction, and has it really harmed conversations. And I think video talking, video chatting, video conferencing is so important. And we can use the technology, because if I'm looking right at you, you can see and feel what I'm saying, and that I'm genuine about what I'm talking about. You're looking me in the eye. And so you feel all of those things. And that's all important. And being able to project that through to your audience, that they feel they're a part of what you're doing.
And RJ is agreeing with you and saying that's so key. Thanks for mentioning that.
Can I ask what Cheryl does? I've never met you.
Of course you may, sir.
Well, I call myself a relationship coach. That's what I call myself, because I have lots of different certifications and degrees, but I pull it all together and say, you know what? It's all about relationships, whether that's a relationship with business and your colleagues, a relationship with, you and your personal life with your family, or the biggest one that I deal with and talking with people a lot about is your relationship with you, your relationship with yourself. That's a huge one.
I wouldn't like me.
Excuse me?
You've got, we have Peter's from Scotland with a wonderful Scottish sense of humour. And you heard right, but it was meant jokingly, but it doesn't always shine through in the...
Like most of my jokes.
No, some of your jokes do come off, Peter. It has to be said. I mean, you told a cracker this morning. Because yeah.
True story.
Okay, go on then.
It's okay. No, listen,
I'll try to keep up.
I've got a friend, my only friend, but sometimes he doesn't speak to me. But anyway, he's a medium. I never knew he was a medium when I worked with him, but he always had him. So I've been watching him in Aberdeen with a friend of his who's a medium, a trainee medium, with the cards and angel cards. And he does a show. And I can't believe how many people in such a short space of time comes on, and he actually pulls out cards for people at the same time, and he won't give live, what do you call it, for certain people. He said you have to come and see me for that. But what a great show he's got, and it's a big show now for the area, and it's Derek McGilvery's, and it's called the Happy Medium. That's what he's called, and he goes on there, and it was quite amazing. In fact, I'm jealous, because I was trying to get people on my show, but he just goes Facebook Live. He doesn't use BLIFbot. I'll probably get him on one day, and so a lot of people are taking that direct approach. But what I like about BLIFbot is, well, not today I didn't, but what happens is you can put up a picture and a slideshow now, which was what I am really looking for, for the future.
Indeed, we're looking to your show returning, Peter.
I know, I'll have to.
Peter was live on Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I made a big mistake today. There's a lady called Julie Crefeld in Britain, and she's a marathon runner and a runner, but she's fat, and that's what she calls her, too fat to run, right? And she goes on and she's built up this community, and so I thought I was putting a private message to her, and I said, "Hi Julie, I've started to try. I done a 5K last week. I was on my bike. I was thinking about doing a blog because I don't know if you know, I did triple heart bypass, and I went on to that." And it was actually on her page, was it? And everybody's seen it. She goes, "Oh, you'll have to do it now." But I might do it anyway, you know. So that was it. But I'm sure I put it in a private message. In this
The internet. Yeah.
Don't know what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, typing the wrong thing in the wrong place happens to us all at some time, Peter.
Yes. So that's me kind of committed now in some way. I think I'll do that. So, right, back to your show.
Show? Yeah, okay. Right, okay. Well, just to go back to Cheryl's earlier point, in that, yes, if you can engage people by talking straight to camera, and that's the purpose of the show, especially with your Sunday show, I would think, then you're talking to people rather than talking with people. And there's no wrong way to do this. As long as the people watching are enjoying and benefiting from what we're saying, then that's it. End of.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. We've got question time here, which is question time's a political program with debate. Don't know what you would call it in America. I think there was something different. And people can actually tweet to them now and put in questions in question time. So, but it's actually pre-recorded, so it's not the same. It's just back and forth. But this avenue is completely different because you can answer a critic, you can answer a fan, and this is why this is different, because you can do it live. And
yes,
it's amazing. That is absolutely amazing to do that. But
well, it is. It is because people can be part of the show, you know, by coming on and bringing their questions or their comments and getting them answered live on the air. They're part of the show, and people love that connection of community. Yeah.
And one thing I did pick up from Derek's show last night, all the people that were watching, he was saying thanks to you, because what happened is somebody came in that was negative towards them, right? And typing in. But all they done was they says, we actually just kept on positive. We didn't even answer them. We just kept on positive. And basically they went away. It was actually quite good to see. We'll hear about that.
Well, sometimes the best way is just to ignore anybody who's trying to disrupt the show. Unfortunately, it's a rare event. But such is the world today that occasionally you get somebody who would rather wasn't in your audience, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right. Well, amazingly, we're coming towards the end of the show, because most shows tend to start on the hour and finish on the hour. So, Cheryl, the floor is yours to tell people where they can find you.
Thank you so much, Stephen, and thank you so much for inviting me on the show today. Again, my name is Cheryl Piper. You can reach me on my website at cherylpiper.com. You can find my Facebook business page at Cheryl Piper Sends Love. I'm all about the love. That's what I do. And I'm just grateful that I had time to share with you. And thank you guys for showing up today, being present, and this was fun.
Wonderful. And of course, we're equal opportunity here. So, Peter, your thoughts as we head towards Easter?
Oh, just get on camera. Don't be shy. Get on camera. Look, if I come into a pub or I came into a restaurant and I started speaking to you, well, you might not, but I'd be friendly. Say, hi there, my name's Peter. How are you doing? I've never been to America before, or is it your first time here? And just chat away. Be casual, be normal. You're just making a new friend. That's all you're doing. So I encourage you to get on camera.
I echo Peter's thoughts, and thank you to Cheryl and to Peter for joining me today. To everybody who's commented, we nearly got away with this one. Hello, Robert C. Stern. Happy Thursday and happy Easter, Robert.
Hi, Robert.
Right, okay. Robert catching the end of the show. So, Cheryl, thank you. Brilliant. And I look forward to perhaps we can get together again sometime in April. And
Yes.
I'll come on your show if you like. Or
that would be fantastic. I would love it.
Brilliant. Excellent. Right, so everybody have a wonderful weekend. Have a pleasant Easter. Let's hope the snow stays away, Peter. And we'll see you all again soon. So it's bye from Wiltshire in England.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.
Mr. Merrick.